Hey, my name is Victoria Seed, and I am coming to you from the Vesta Approach in Manchester. I help professional women, business women, and retired women who are living with a loved one's addiction to live their most happy and peaceful lives and also have the best chance possible of motivating their loved one to make a change to accept the help they need. So every week I go live or do a session around a topic related to addiction and family recovery. And this week, what we're talking about is how not to lose your shit when your loved one is intoxicated. So, this is something that I'm getting asked quite a lot from my clients at the moment because obviously we're on the run up to Christmas. It's quite a pressurizing time. We're probably not going to be able to tell someone else to stop using their substance, but what we can do is make sure we've got a plan of how to handle it. And that's what I'm talking about today. So, I'm going to go through 9 tips that I've got around this. So get a pen, get a paper, pause this video, write it down, whatever you need to do. So the first one is all about the preparation. Set your boundaries now. So have a look at some of my other videos over on the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you're viewing this. Um, because I talk about boundaries all the time. I've done lots and lots of boundary setting videos. So go and have a look at it. But to simplify it, all we need to do with this is decide what you want around you and let your loved one know. And that's it. And use an I statement to let your loved one know if you can. I go on about these all the time. It isn't the only strategy we use, but it's such a simple one. And if you can crack it, you're well on your way to just living a better life. So all you have to do is, I feel worried when you have been intoxicated at Christmas this year. I'd really like it if you were having a drink that you let me know, that you do it somewhere else, that you go to your room, whatever it is. Yeah, only you can decide that. I can't decide that for you. So make the boundary around you and not them, and use I statements, I's rather than you wherever you can. Okay, go and check the other videos out. Set your boundaries now. Number two, trust your gut. So I have a lot of people come to me saying, "Oh, yeah, I know when they've used because this happens, that happens." So make sure you kind of have an idea of about the behavior patterns around your loved one's use. Are there any smells? Is there any particular things that they say? Do their eyes glaze over? Does the face look flushed? What mood are they in? So just have a think about that. But generally, if you think they have used a substance, they have. Bear in mind that your loved one is probably gonna deny it quite a lot of the time. So just saying, I've got a feeling that you've used something or you've had a drink or whatever it is. I might be wrong, but if you have, da 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 da. Please, can you do this? Because I just don't want to be around it. I don't want that substance use around me. Trust your gut though, because it's usually right. Number three is breathe. So the focus of this is to remove the conflict. Okay. And what we need to do, we need to get that rational part of your brain in gear rather than the emotional part. Okay. So if you think about thinking, feeling brain, when we're stressed, when we're worried, when we're anxious, when we come across a loved one that's intoxicated again, and it absolutely infuriates us, the best thing to do is take a breath. My children in lockdown drew a poster of me stood in the kitchen, hanging onto the kitchen side, doing deep breaths. Because they see me doing it. They see me self-regulating doing that. And I'm glad that they see me doing that. All you need to do, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So keep doing that in through your nose and out through your mouth. A really useful tip is to breathe in for 4, get right in so your stomach's rising, and breathe out for 8. Okay. If you just do that breath work, 10, 20 breaths, it's gonna help you to think rationally, and even just taking that step out of things before you say something can be really helpful, because all you're doing when you react like that is using all of your precious energy up and probably adding fuel to the fire. So we don't want that. Okay. Take a breath. Number 4, respond, don't react. My mantra in life, I was brought up in a very angry, reactive household. No offense to my parents, but it was. And and that's how it was. So I've had to do a lot of work on myself because my instant reaction is anger. That's kind of what I've had around me. So therefore, I've had to really, really work on this. And my mantra is respond, don't react. Do I get it right 100% of the time? No, I do not, because clients think that then they have to get it right all the time. You have a right to be angry and you have a right to funnel that anger somewhere. But while we are being strategic, while we're trying to make a change, if we can most of the time, just try and think about a way of responding instead of reacting. And that usually is taking a little step out of it before you say something calmly. Okay. Let them know you know. So this is the thing, we want to be assertive in this. We don't want to be passive aggressive and fuming and slamming cupboards around and the score, sitting down, huffing and puffing, giving them evils over the room. That just is not going to help at all. So being direct is the way forward. I get a sense, I've got a feeling that you might have used something, just a reminder that I don't want it around me. If just say, oh, remember the boundary I have, I can see you've used something, that is your choice, but please do it elsewhere. Please go to your room, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay. So let them know you know. Number 6 is be assertive, but be kind and be compassionate. So assertive can easily tip into aggression when we're trying to say something, but we're not used to asking for what we need. So what we don't want to do is start going, you, this, you, that, you always do this, because that's just aggressive. Or I told you that I didn't want this around me. That's aggressive. So we want that assertiveness. That assertiveness is simply reinforcing your boundary. I don't want alcohol and drug use around me, or whatever it is that you have set your boundary to be. We agreed that if you had a drink that you'd go elsewhere or you'd stay somewhere else or whatever it is, but you need to go back to point 1 and decide what that is for you. We always want to be kind and compassionate. Remember that people do not choose to develop a problem with alcohol, drugs, gambling, whatever it is. It's just that that's the path that's happened for them. So being horrible, hating them, and all of that stuff, and being really, really angry is totally understandable because you're in such a stressful situation. But we really want to kind of step out of that and just remember that most people come to me for help because they love their person. So remember those good things about them. Remember that they can change, they were interested in other things and we can get that back. But for now, in the moment, just be kind, just be compassionate, but be kind to yourself as well and assert your needs without it being aggressive. Number 7 is hand over the choice to your loved one. So this is all about you're not going to try and stop them because that is a total waste of time. Okay. Unless you're dealing with a child under 18. Got a couple of people in my group that are, but we work differently, slightly around that. You'd have to contact me for a conversation about that. But even with them, we're handing the choice over to your loved one because with that pressure from you and the upset, the drama, the chaos, not caused by you, by the way, as an affected family member, but by the substance, shall we say, and the choices that your loved one is making, it just creates more conflict, and conflict is often a reason to go and use a substance because you know as well as I do, if there's something that can be used as an excuse, that will be used usually. So we want to avoid that. We want the person to be with that, sitting next to the substance alone with it and making those choices because then it becomes less appealing. Okay. So hand over that choice. Number 8, withdraw without conflict. So have a plan in place. What are you going to do for yourself if your loved one does use that substance? And don't get me wrong, if there's any aggression, abuse, violence, any of that stuff, get your safety plan in place and make sure, if you've got children, that you're getting that support. There are lots and lots of services that can help you, so don't be alone. I've been in an abusive situation myself. It is no excuse. Alcohol and drug use is no excuse for abuse. So I just want to make that really clear. What we want to be doing is withdrawing without conflict. So if you've got a loved one that has used their substance, you set your boundary. It's like, right, what are you going to do now for yourself to bring you down from that experience? Because we've tried to respond and not react. This can be hard stuff. So then it's like, what can you do just to carry on enjoying your life? Because their choices are up to them and your choices are up to you. And how much you let it get to you is up to you as well. And this isn't easy, by the way. This is why people come to me for help. So if you need help, please reach out. So you got to keep living your life. You've got to model the life you want your loved one to live. And number 9 is make a commitment to follow your boundaries through. So what I often see is that family members will set the boundaries. They might in the moment say them, which is crucial, but then afterwards there's nothing. It's just like this hope, no man's land kind of thing where everyone's just hoping everything will go back to the way it is. Got to readdress that boundary when your loved one's sober and as soon as possible. So, I felt sad last night that we had something planned and you're intoxicated. I just wanted to say that I can't carry on like this. We need something to change. So what are you thinking? Or just reassert your boundary if that's easier when you're starting out. So that's it. Let's have a quick recap. Um, it's all about the prep. Set your boundaries now. Trust your gut. Number 3 is breathe. Number 4 is respond, don't react. Number 5 is let them know you know. Number 6 is be assertive, be kind, be compassionate. Number 7 is hand over the choice to your loved one. Number 8 is withdraw without conflict. Carry on living your life. Carry on with your plans. Okay, with or without your loved one, depending on their choices. Number 9, make a commitment to follow your boundaries through. Is it time to do things differently? Because I can help. Just drop me a message, okay? And the other thing is, I have a free community called Not My Addiction over on Facebook. Get over there, search Not My Addiction in the search bar, and I'll put the links in below. But come and join us over there. You're not alone, and I will see